Hello, what's happening, bro?
Hey, what's going on? This is a recording, phone interview I'm gonna do with this guy named JT Cincinnati. He was real close in Yash's circle. Let me go ahead and introduce him real quick. Yo, JT.
Hey, what's happening, man? I wouldn't say, we was, close, but, I was definitely up in there, though. You know what I'm saying? I was definitely one of the ones that he was rocking with. So, yeah, this is me.
Okay. Can you go ahead and just tell us, from start to finish, how you got to meet Yash Qaraah, and then, the events that led up to, when you started to see what, the bullshit that he was doing and stuff like that. Can you go ahead and let us start us off with, how you met him?
I met Yash, I'm gonna say, I started calling in the blog talk. I can't remember if it was 2014, somewhere in there, but I have been following him, for years, 2010, 11, around that time. And when I started calling in the blog talk, and I guess once he started kind of taking the feel for me, that's when, he started reaching out to me, and, we kind of started our relationship like that.
Okay. Now, what was the date to where you really got a hold of him? Like after you started to stop listening to him or whatever, what's the day that you kind of got a hold of him and everything like that?
I'm trying to think, man. Let me try to see if I can remember that far back. I know it was like around like September. It was like July, September, somewhere around that area when I started calling in there. And, like I said, he didn't, reach out to me out the back. Like, once I think he started seeing my persistence with me calling in the blog talk, I guess that's when he was like, oh, okay, yeah, he really followed his show. He really support what I'm doing, because at the time I really was, I was just like anybody else that was trying to find the truth. And, at the time, Yash was the only person that I had saw on the internet that was, talking the truth. So I really clinged to that, and I really thought like, okay, this brother gotta be official, he the only one that's really doing this thing. So I'm gonna say the Campbells, they started calling right after I started calling. And, Yash had made it to where, he told us about TSU, and that's when, how we all started kind of, getting to know each other outside of just the blog talk situation. So, we was all kind of close in the beginning, because I thought that that's what it was all about, us learning truth. And once I started kind of figuring out that, these people wasn't like me, is kind of when I started, distancing myself from a lot of those clowns, because they ain't nothing but Yash worshipers. They try to act like, they holy. They try to act like, okay, they really fucking with people, but they some backstab in front of the bitches.
Oh, man.
Excuse me.
All right. Can you tell us, like, as far as, what is TSU? I don't know what that is. Maybe some of the people don't know what that is.
TSU, was just, it was kind of like a Facebook. And I don't know what kind of situation Yash had with him, because that's how I found out about TSU site was, Yash was giving them a plug. So, that's pretty much how I had found out about it. And with Yash, looking back at it, the way I looked at it, the way I see it now, it was all a game, man. He got us all in that pot. He put us all in the pot, and he was stern. And, he was keeping everybody that he knew that was really idolizing him. And he kind of started rifts with the ones that I felt like myself, that he knew that wasn't there to just kiss his ass. And that's when a lot of the bullshit started. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of, take the wheel here so I can kind of give you a better synopsis on where I'm trying to go with this thing. Okay, so the very first time me and Yash had a conversation, he told us that, we was all supposed to meet in Colorado, me, the Campbells, and I can't remember who else was supposed to go. You know, we was all having it was like 8 of us. And we had a conference. We had conference calls every 2 weeks, and it was like in September, and we were supposed to be linking up like at that April. So now remind you, we was always on the phone from September all the way up to like, I'm gonna say April. So I done bought my ticket. You know, I done got the hotel. Now I don't know what everybody else is doing, you know, cause I can only focus on me. This is when everything kind of started, you know, showing like, okay, something ain't right about this, okay? Cause now remind you, he waited until, I'm gonna say 2 weeks before we was actually supposed to go out there. And remind you, he stopped the conferences, and I was wondering, I'm like, damn, you know, we was conferencing every 2 weeks, and I'm like, okay, you know, he just got missing. So then he did a blog talk show, or a speaker, one of the two, where he was basically saying, well, I'm not doing any more conference calls or whoopie-whoop, and I remember getting at the Campbells and a couple other people that were supposed to go with us. I'm like, y'all didn't see no problem with this? I mean, he didn't even give us a heads up or anything, because I feel like if we came together to conference and make plans on meeting, then we should have had a meeting on why we wasn't going to link up.
Okay, so you guys were supposed to get your, you were speaking with Yash on the phone, and you guys had a small circle which you guys were dealing with, and you're supposed to, you guys had plans to meet each other and fly out there and meet Yash. And what you're saying is, about a week or 2 weeks before, all of a sudden Yash just cut y'all off and didn't mention anything about not wanting to meet up. He just, how did that happen?
This is what he told me, when I ended up reaching out to him, because I was feeling some kind of way about that, because I was like looking forward to meeting him just like everybody else was, but it was the way he went about it is what kind of made me look at the situation. Sorry, that's like, you supposed to be my brother, me and you. And you telling me I want you to come out here where I'm at. We make plans, and 2 weeks before we supposed to come, you done did some fluke shit. Didn't tell me, but I listened to your show, and then you doing the show talking about, well, we ain't meeting up no more. But what he told me during our one-on-one call was that, you know, I guess somebody from the group got to run their mouth. Or it was a lame brain excuse, you know, so I still kind of took it on the chin, like, okay, well, cool. All right, well, if this making you feel better, okay. That was kind of like strike one, but I still kept following him because I'm like, you know what I mean? It's all right. It's cool. I was sorry about the little money I lost with, you know, the hotel and the tickets. You know, they reimburse you, but it ain't your full amount.
Okay, so he had knew you already booked the ticket and everything like that. Like
yeah, I had been, my shit had been booked.
Oh, okay. And Yash knew this?
Yeah, I told him.
Okay.
Yeah, I told him that I had been booked my shit and everything, but like I told you, I took it on the chin, like, okay, it's cool. Mm-hmm. So, now remind you, right after that, my daughter and her mom had ended up getting into an altercation with the police in my town where I'm from. And, you know, it made nationwide news and everything, so it was all over the news. So I remember, you know, reaching out to everybody I was rocking with in the show, telling them, hitting them on their TSU inbox, letting them know what I was going through. Nobody responded. I'm going to say maybe 4 or 5 good people responded back to me and was really compassionate about what I was going through at the time. Because trust me, man, you don't know what it's like to see your oldest child, you know, ribs bruised up and, you know, on some police brutality shit, you know, they fucked my baby up, man, you know, so I was, you know, really in a bad place at that time, like, damn, that's fucked up. So, the second y'all said something about it on TSU, that's when everybody started coming out the woodwork trying to show some compassion. So, from that point on, that's when I realized, like, oh, hell nah. These people full of shit. I reached out to everybody, man. That's when I kind of lost respect for people. Like, come on, man. Had that been y'all telling y'all that he was just going through this kind of situation, everybody would have, you know, damn near drove to wherever he was at to try to be there for him, which I wasn't expecting nobody to come to my town, but damn, if we supposed to be brothers and sisters in this truth, you know, at least, you know, reach out to me and, hey, JP, yeah, all right, man, I heard about what happened. You know, I didn't get none of that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
In turn,
as far as the timeline goes, so, you had booked a ticket to go out there. Everybody was planning to meet. And then, what had happened was, Yash cut everything off. And then in between that, he put up that show, where he was talking about Emmett. Now tell us that, about Emmett, cause the timeline was, he was talking about Emmett and you in that show. And then afterwards, when that event happened with your daughter, he wanted to get in contact with you after that.
I'm getting to that. I'm kind of taking you from the beginning all the way up to the ending part, you know, just to kind of let you know where I was just peeping the phony shit with Yash and a lot of the people that followed it. And some of the close people that I held close to me after that, they were seeing the same stuff I was seeing. But, you know, we was all still trying to keep following, you know, just stay on our 1-2 with the situation. But, so, like I said, once the situation with my daughter happened, that really put a dark taste in my mouth about a whole bunch of them. So I remember putting up a post on TSU where I was basically saying, fuck everybody. You know, everybody from the Yash show. I mean, everybody. Now, the people that I fuck with, you know, I let it be known, like, these are the people that I'm fucking with from here on out. But the rest of y'all, it's kiss my ass. So, right after that situation happened, is after that, the end of the situation is what happened. Now, when I was putting posts on TSU, I was never talking about y'all. Never did I ever sneak this on TSU or any of that shit. But a lot of that I was putting on TSU, I started wondering, I'm like, damn, y'all should go on the show and say something, but it'll kind of sound like something that I said on TSU. But at the time, I couldn't figure out, like, what's going on, because he's telling us that he don't really be on the TSU or Facebook like that. He's got other people watching him for him. So I'm like, okay. I was keeping the feed business. Like, so pretty much I'm putting 2 and 2 together, man. I feel like, you know, this is just me. I feel like it was the Campbells and some other people who was going back, you know, letting me know what I was talking about on TSU. And I think that's when he really started trying to act funny toward a nigga, which at the end of the day, I don't care about none of that. I was just trying to get the truth. But I'm going to go ahead and get to the end of the situation. I put a post on TSU right after I saw that Emmett was in Colorado and he was stuck. And I was talking to my brothers that I rock with, not even nobody from y'all show, not even Yash himself. I was talking to my brothers and I was telling them, like, man, we should have came together and did something for him. That's all I said. That's all I said. I didn't say Yash was out of line or Yash should have did something. I said we should have did something. So I guess once the suckers ran back and was telling Yash what was going on, Yash did that show on Emmett and me where he was talking about some, you know, you got dumbass niggas on the internet trying to be this spokesperson and whoopie whoopie this and whoopie whoop that. And I remind you, I feel like this, if we supposed to be brothers or any of that, why not hit me up? Like, he had all my information, my TSU, he had my direct number, my Gmail, all of that shit. But not one time did he reach out to me to even be like, man, is this, and this, that? Like, nah, he just completely jumped the gun about the situation. Yeah. There was a guy that I used to rock with, Freight Train.
Wait, say that again, you cut out. There was somebody who was rocking with on the show?
Oh yeah, now them the real ones, man. Them the guys that they never was ass kissers from the beginning, man.
Who you talking about now? Who you talking about now? And Sean, Freight Train, and you cut off. That's why.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sean, Freight Train, and you know Perry Jones. You know, and I keep it 100, man. There was a couple of females, man, that was cool, but everybody else, man, they really wasn't who they said they was, man. They were suckers, man. And